Hi everybody, Abby, Zen Ren. Welcome to a spooktacular reading. Actually, it's just that time of year. You gotta drag out all this junk and stick it out, but I'm over Halloween. I'm over Halloween already. So how's everybody today? Ready for waste 40 minutes of your life you'll never get back? I'm smudging myself today. We've had the solstice, and we are now and truly into fall. I'm feeling a little soberish today. I wanted to get a reading on just a general reading for all of us because it's been 2020 is a year I cannot recommend. Some great things have happened, but it has been a struggle. And I know about 50% of the people who hang out here with us are American, and boy, oh boy, we are rooting for you because you have had a terrible time with the pandemic. And I can't imagine. I do worry for my friends in the South. Mask up, everybody. Anyways, today I got up singing the old America song, All the Lonely People. Go Spotify it or whatever you do and listen to the lyrics. And it actually sort of has been on my mind all day. And I was waiting for some kind of a Halloween themed something to do a reading on, or a good murder case, and it's just these crazy basement dwelling young men chopping their family up lately, and I kind of had enough of that. So I got thinking, yeah, we're all a little bit lonely and isolated lately, and so let's do a reading about that. Let's do kind of a Dear Abby reading, if you will. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe I have some grandma advice that might shake loose some creativity, a couple of new ideas, or if nothing else, get a couple of rusty gears and knock some of that rust off, and maybe we can turn a few gears in there and start to get the machinery moving again. The machinery of your life, if you will. I used to believe we were 50% responsible for what went on in our life. You know, if we came across a trying situation or something unexpected, it was 50% our fault. I now believe we are 100% to blame or to take credit for what happens in our lives. Took me a while. I could not accept that. I couldn't accept that I actually create all this chaos and nonsense. Why? Why would I do it? Well, after, like I said, once I retired and had some time to slow down and think, I really began to reflect, and life really started to come into focus. Crazy, crazy things that happened at crazy, crazy times of my life. When you get some distance and can turn them over and look at them from all sides, you very often see the sparkle of gold, or a pearl. You see something of value in it, let's put it that way. So that's what I'm hoping we will get, some universal wisdom. So if your question is, why am I lonely? Why don't I have a good friend? Why doesn't anybody call me? How can I shake these blues? You know, what's it all about? If only I could get that. If only I had a house. If only I had a car. If only I had a partner. If only I lost 20 pounds. If only. So let's talk about why we're not where we want to be, and what we need to think about doing to change our circumstances and get what we want. I think it's going to be great, and I'm ready for a little universal wisdom. I'm going to put us on pause for a second so I can bring the camera down without all that herky-jerky stuff. And while I do that, why don't you run, get those stretcher pants. You need a drink. I'm having some sort of Halloween cocktail in a skull glass. And on board in my vice cabinet today, I'm smoking a lovely little hybrid called Bruce Banner. Now, if you know, Bruce Banner is, I believe no, he's not Batman. Is he Spider-Man? Maybe. But I thought, costume, you get it. You're getting it. So let me put us on pause. You run and get ready. And I'll see you right back here in a couple of minutes. All right, here we go. Here's our little message today. Tiny baby feather. And these represent the chakras. There we go. So today we're going to use my senior deck, and we'll use that as a clarifier. But for our main cards, we're going to use these cool tattooy ones because they seem perfect. Perfect for some tough talk, some, what do they call it? Tough love from the universe. Let's see if old Mother Nature's going to tell us to pull up our bootstraps, or what do we need to hear today? Come on. These are huge cards. Huge! Start taking some breathing. Just take the whole thing down. Just let your mind go. Prepare to be amazed. Don't feel very good yet about that shuffle. Let's go one more time. You guys are feeling sluggish today, Mr. Cards. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. That looks better. Ooh, 2 there, hey? We'll take 2. Oh, 2 there. Wow, we really are going to get a message here today, aren't we? All right, what's on the bottom? Queen of Coins. Abundance, fertility. Well, things of value. We'll see how that plays in. Now, let's throw a little flavoring on this. Hello, my cards. How are you? I haven't seen you guys in a few days. You were working pretty hard there a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, made a little run on readings. It was fun, though. Then I had to get serious about getting that yard put to bed. Again, there's no rhyme or reason, and this is kind of a crazy layout that is half a layout, but I like it for these readings. It gives me some space to work in. I don't have so many cards to deal with. Oh, and I want one on there just for fun. One just for fun. And on the bottom, 7 of Coins. Enough. Enough, enough, enough. So you get the Queen of Coins, abundance, and then you have this 7 of Coins, which is that feeling in your tummy. When is enough enough? Obviously, we're going to talk about monetary things, things of value. I guess you have to, though, right? I mean, unfortunately, as in this stage, money makes the world go round. Not very many people live off grid and supply everything they need themselves. You need some coin to trade. All right, I'm going to start turning. Wow, look at the coins in here, hey? Oh, well now, hey now. 5 of Swords, you say? quickly, you guys. This is very interesting. Big cards in here, kids. Some majors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 I can see just without getting crazy here. 6 major cards. So yes, I think I might have stumbled on something we all need to talk about. Ready? Let's go. Come on, everybody. Oopsie. I'm trying to get away from that jiggling. Oh, there's the nose. Take a breath with me. Clear your mind. Get ready. You got to play along, don't you know? Wow, that's very tart. Oh! Very tart. So the cards on the bottom were pentacles. Straight up talking about money, if you like. Could be job, could be money, could be even things like inheritances. But it could also be smarts that helps you get more money, better job, that kind of stuff. It's things of value. But traditionally, things of value are tied to some sort of monetary, right? In the very heart of this reading, where are we all right now? So, just how we feeling today? Interesting. Knight of Swords and the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands, first of all, are activity, and swords are mental activity. And the 5 of Wands, I call it the argy-bargy. It reminds me of when dogs play. If you've ever seen how 2 or more dogs play, there's lots of teeth and growling, and sometimes you'll hear snapping, but nobody's getting hurt. But there's a lot of boundaries being set. The pecking order is being established, and they do it through play. But you can tell there is a fine line when somebody says enough, and they snap, and everybody kind of backs away. That's how this is. You're in a position where you're kind of struggling. You're not fighting for your life, but maybe you're struggling to set your boundaries. Maybe you're struggling to secure your place somewhere. Maybe it's in the family. My first thought when I saw this was, say, a step parent, somebody getting involved in a family where there's a whole other dynamic. You got involved because of one person, but you have to amalgamate all these other people, feelings, personalities, and nobody's getting hurt. But there's a lot of pushing, a little bit of growling, some teeth are showing. People are trying to establish their position in the pecking order. And perhaps this is you. This guy, he is, you're getting a little frustrated. The reason you're frustrated is because it's not the argy-bargy isn't productive. It's not designed to be either. It is designed for people to sort of push their limits out and learn their strength, learn how much they have to offer. You'll lose it if you don't use it. So that's what that's about, especially in a family dynamic. It's easy to say, oh, the middle child does this and the baby does that. And of course, the oldest child is an A personality and all that rigmarole. It's not always true, but it kind of is. There is truth to these old sayings, and this is what's happening around you. So it could also be at work. Could have been a power shakeup at work. And there's a little pushing, a little shoving. Could be that this is your life. Perhaps this pandemic has just turned your snow globe upside down, and you're just... the first few seconds after you shake that snow globe out, you can't even see the village, right? Well, now that's how you feel, like, So, you're getting a little sharp. Could be sharp mentally, you're getting, honing in on your prize, getting really sharp. But his tag is he's a little reckless. Heads up. Your frustration might make your tongue a little sharp. Might have exhausted your patience a little bit. You may find you're quicker to be a little cutting. So the king or the Knight of Swords reminds us, watch out, heads up. You're getting awful close to your edge. Better to nip it in the bud. And what is all encompassing? There we go. See, just work through it. Is the 10 of Cups. This is the happily ever after card. This is what we are all looking for. This is that feeling you think you're going to have after you get that new car home and you go stand and sip your coffee in the morning and look at it glistening in the driveway. That's that feeling. Of course, we all know in 3 weeks it'll have dust and mud, and there'll be a old French fry under the passenger seat already, and the new smell is disappearing, and somebody's already put a little tiny dent in your passenger door. So while we're all striving for that, understand this is just brief. This is like the salt and the pepper. We don't live on salt and pepper. We just get sprinkles of it, right? So that's us. That's us in a heartbeat. Things around us have been a little bit mixed up. People are pushing a bit. It's not a panic situation, but it is frustrating, and it feels like you're swimming in jello. It's like, I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm exerting a lot of effort. What's your heart telling you? This is interesting. Right here is the Two of Swords. She represents a stalemate. The interesting thing for me with this card is she reminds me so much of Justice. She's blindfolded. And usually Lady Justice is blindfolded. And she is sort of neutral. She has no favoritism. That's the word. Sorry. She has no favoritism towards either party. It's going to be fair. So this talks of a stalemate in that nobody's winning. Nobody's winning. It's a stalemate. But you want this to be fair. Justice. It has to be fair. It has to be equitable. Yes, I realize that, you are becoming a young adult and I need to stop hovering and be a helicopter parent. Or, yes, I realize that I've fallen in love with your parent, mom, dad, whoever, and now I am taking some attention from you. You understand that, but you also have to, you are also saying it has to be fair for everybody. It can't always be for whoever's fighting with you with this dominance. Let's say it's at work. Everybody has to be treated fairly. That's how teams stay together. That's how you make glue. That's how you build stuff, right? Fairness. So you're very conscious of being of this being fair. You're also feeling that you're not making a lot of progress. Perhaps both sides really feel they have they have a leg to stand on. This is going to pull into this. You're 100%, not 50%. You're 100%. This tells me somebody's thinking, I'm 50% responsible. That's why it's stuck. You're waiting for the other 50% to make it right. As soon as you say, this is all my problem, how I respond to this problem, I am in control of that. I am 100% in control of how I respond to this issue, this problem, this person, this news, this unforeseen circumstance. I am 100% in control of how I react and behave about it. And once you do that, you put down one sword and things begin to move. Because when you're sitting around waiting for somebody, you can wait a long time. So yes, you really get it. You see everybody's point of view here. You haven't put your own needs first. You are being fair. And there's a lot at stake. Look at this. The world. This is the sort of the ultimate card. This is the attainment. This is something that you have been working towards. Maybe it is a promotion. Maybe you are going into management. Maybe you're retiring. Maybe you're finally going to do what you wanted to do all along. So this is big shakings. This is the, I get it card. Not only do I get it, it's here. It's happening. I'm living it. It is making waves in my life. Huge. Wow. I think everybody though, right? Everybody's been affected somehow. I mean, maybe you lost your job. Maybe you were fortunate enough that you get to work from home. Maybe you had to take the golden handshake so that a younger guy gets to keep his job, but you are that close to retirement. You could just bail and let someone else keep their job. But it was not the perfect launch like you had hoped. But circumstances have brought us all to make some decisions and choices in our lives that we haven't had to choose from before. We're all going to grow. Because any struggle, anything that causes you to question, to think, to re-examine old thoughts and processes is growth. Even though all you do is look at it. Even if you don't change your behavior, the fact that you thought about it, you gave it a minute, you planted the seed, that is huge. That's where life changes come from. What? If I could go way up high. So we've talked about what's inside of you. This is huge for me. This impacts my life. I need it to be fair. I understand. I see the other person's point of view, but I am in control of my reaction. And it's good because there's lots of energy around you that's trying your patience. But again, the world with this happily ever after, wow. So I'm going to go 900 feet up in a balloon. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? An autumn day with a early morning balloon ride with champagne and orange juice with raspberries floating in them as we lift off on a misty farmer's field and see these. Our trees are just phenomenal. We haven't had a wind. Usually the trees turn color and then a wind blows them all away that very same day. We haven't had that yet, so we have the reds and the oranges and and the geese are flying over. It looks like a Hallmark movie out in my backyard. How are we doing? If we could look down on you, what would we see? So I always talk about the outer rings. So think about, we've dropped a pebble in the pond and now the rings go out. So stuff out here is happening. You don't even know about it. It's pretty close to shore, let's say, or it's quite a distance from where the center of your life is right now. But out here, things are happening. People are doing things that you need them to do. Positions are becoming available. People's lives are changing. All those are sort of the edges of the puzzle. You know, when you do a jigsaw puzzle, you do the edges first, or at least I do the edges first. That's kind of what's out here. Stuff is happening. We'll get in closer. Now you maybe know of these people. You know of this circumstances. You can see it in the distance. Perhaps, yes, I was going to retire in 18 months, and now I know it's here. And then we have what's happening right now. So we're about out here. What's going on out here? You are lining up for a victory, without a doubt, the Chariot, a victory. But be so careful. 4 of Cups. What is the Four of Cups? It's a petulant child. It's yeah. And that's what I mean. Maybe you had a plan. Maybe you were going to Europe. Maybe you were getting married. Maybe you were going to retire. Maybe a promotion or a move or something was in and it got changed. Now the date got moved up. Now you can only have 10 guests. Now you're not, if you're an American, you're not going anywhere. Like we can still travel and things like that. But, 300, what is your population? 300 million? Can't go anywhere. So you're not happy. Your first instinct when stuff started getting sort of rambunctious and not neat and quiet and orderly anymore, your first reaction was sort of a pout. Maybe you're a snowbird. Maybe you're used to going to Phoenix or somewhere. It was funny around here because they're all snowbirds, right? Very few of us stay here for the winter. And many of them have actual homes there. And so they have to go down there and look after these places. They don't have people lined up to be checking them all year round and stuff. And it was funny because a lot of them were saying, we'll go down in January. We'll go in January. Well, here we are now in October. The president is in hospital, and in Canada, it's like, no way. No. So they are like, now we have a cold winter to go through. So perhaps that's why you're being a petulant child. And if there isn't a good reason for it, quit it. Nobody likes this. And you may be right. You may be right. Maybe you're legally right. Maybe you're morally right. Whatever. You might be right. But this victory, this is a hard victory. This is the one where if you and somebody are having a fight and you win with this card, you will lose the friendship. You'll make the point and you'll be bloody right. But they'll never speak to you again. Or if they do, they could care less. So this is like, be careful what you wish for kind of victory. You may prove your point, but that guy that you just ground down into the carpet and made look like an idiot, yeah, maybe he'll be your boss in the next 18 months. Oh. So, watch that pouty lip. Even, like I say, even if you are right, even if legally you're right, cut it out. Stop it. Stop right now. Just put this down. This victory will always be disappointing. You will lose as much as you gain. And this, if I can't have my way, I don't want it, will cause you to miss some very sweet, unexpected opportunities. Like your grandma used to say, you don't have to eat it all, but you have to taste it. So here you are, you're struggling, something's upset in your normal course of life, and it's something very important. It's something that your world is attached to your world. It's very important to you that it be fair. This needs to be settled fairly, and without a doubt it does. But just be careful. All victories are not equal. Now, what do you feel the energy is behind you? Let's say, is it the desire to make a family? Is it the desire to find a partner? Is it a desire for more money? Is it a desire to prove to the world that you have arrived? Look at us. Look at our new Cadillac. Look at our beautiful home. Look at our 2.2 children. Is that what's driving you? Whoever you think is keeping score will, upgrade you to the platinum card. Is that what's driving you? Is that the energy behind you? The energy behind you is the High Priestess with the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is a little bit like the Argy-Bargy card. It talks, say, more personally about your effort in the fray. The 7 of Wands, first of all, it's actually an activity. It's actually something is happening. And it talks about getting yourself above the pack, head and shoulders. It may be talking about being spurred on by competition, right? You just figured out how to make this product, and here comes the Chinese to knock it off. It's a real struggle. Success, and this is funny, think about this. Success is this double-edged sword, right? You finally get to the top of the heap and you discover, oh my God, this is precarious up here. On every side, somebody's trying to knock you down. So if you're not really comfortable, if you don't have a good perch, a good hold, if you're not sort of sat solidly in your own, if you're in any way a fraud, you will get the king of the castle. They will knock you off the hill. So there's some of that energy around you. You're still really this almost frenetic energy of stuff is starting to happen. Your high priestess. Intuition. Trust your gut. Read a few tarot cards. Read a book you wouldn't normally read that takes you to a place that you've never really thought about, say sci-fi or something like that, or some history. Read that to sort of actually have to cause your mind to think with the other side for a while. If you find yourself in a conundrum, if you find yourself in an argy-bargy, and you're not seeing any improvement, that should tell you you're doing the same thing again and again. And what is the definition of insanity? Taking the same course of action and expecting a different outcome. This is what she tells us. Listen to your gut. Intuitively, we're a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for. And we have, thanks to our smartphones, become even more dependent on outside information than we should. Learn to listen to your intuition. First of all, get to know which voice inside your head is your intuition. Which voice is your ego that says, I need to protect that soft, gushy center of mine and look stronger than I am and, put on this brave face. And what is your intuition? Well, first of all, your intuition will never tell you to hurt somebody, verbally or physically or emotionally. If you ever hear a voice that tells you to say something cutting to somebody, or God forbid, strike somebody, that's not your intuition. Don't listen to that. Your intuition understands that fear drives most of our decisions. The fear of being left, the fear of not being chosen, the fear of going without. We all have those fears. So the more you can ease someone else's fears, the more your own fears will be. If you come to understand we're not alone, you won't be afraid. That's what your intuition talks about. Your intuition knows there's many ways to solve a lot of problems. Like there's not just one route. So listen to what your tummy says. But I'll help you sort that out till you get comfortable with listening to your intuition. Intuition does not tell you to key your ex-boyfriend's car. All right, so we know what's driving you. This feeling of being pushed, competing, trust your instinct. What might happen? What could happen? Well, these are promising. This talks about perseverance. The Page of Pentacles talks about perseverance. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. Money in your hand. Something of value in your hand. You finally get it in your hand. It's yours now. So something you've been looking at of value, and maybe it's a hot lead. Maybe it's a blind date. Maybe it's a word of advice. Maybe it'll be a billboard with some kooky, sometimes they'll say something and you actually have to go Google it to figure out what it was all about. Maybe it'll be one of those things, and that'll start you on something. But there is value, there's something of value coming to your hand. And the message is, if you practice perseverance, so every time you get knocked off, you get back up and go at it again, it will pay off. That could happen. Wow, you got some crazy ass cards coming up here. I need a drink. I need a drink and a breath. Hi everybody, back from the dog doorbell. Wouldn't be a Zen-Ren video if we didn't have some dog doorbell action. Go lay down now, you pack of wolves. So sorry. Oh, there's Luke. Now, when we had left off, we were fending off the competition, trying to get head and shoulders above the crowd, listening to our intuition. What's going to happen? We've talked about what could happen. This perseverance could bring some money in the hand or some equity in the hand. What will happen? Big cards. And you had the big cards down here, justice in the world. We have the Fool. We have death. And we have the King of Pentacles. So everybody tuned out as soon as they saw the death card, I'm sure. The King of Pentacles, if you remember, we had the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. Abundance. The King of Pentacles talks about a mature, it could actually be a person, and it would be a mature mindset. Somebody that you could look to for advice on matters of money and equity and appreciation and things like that. Could talk about being the king of your castle, you know, the king of your treasury. So, or it could talk of, say, your boss, somebody who provides you the coin, right? He's the dealer of the money out. He doles the money out. On that energy of the comptroller, is that what it's called? Comptroller or controller of the purse, on that is death and the Fool. This to me is just an exclamation mark. The Fool is 0. Can you see the 0 just above the sun there? The Fool is us. So if you're into reincarnation, death, and then you start again, the Fool. So the Fool is the baby. He is naive. He has no baggage. It is fresh. It is new. It's a new start. There's no history. There's no scars. There's nothing. So this is not, you're not going to refurbish something. You're going to have something new and fresh. This isn't, the Fool isn't a fixer-upper of something you already have and you're about to limp it along. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Because the death is, well, it's the circle of life. From something dying, the tree dies, it falls to the floor, it rots, the bugs get in it and chew it up, and the birds eat the bugs, and it's the circle of life. Nothing wrong with the death card. Trust me, you wouldn't want to live forever. You wouldn't have enough money. You'd have to work more. And if you knew you were going to live forever, would you do anything? You know, sometimes you have to get stuff off your bucket list, right? So something's going to die. Maybe you are. Maybe it is the end of your working life. Maybe you got furloughed or laid off. Maybe a divorce, a death, a separation. Something has ended and it's done. It's done. And it might have been, I almost want to say it's a job, or it's somehow somebody that supported you. So yeah, maybe your job did come to an end. Maybe you got, like I said, the golden handshake. You got retired out before, you know, you got bridged out into your retirement before you were ready. So, as scary as that old death card looks to people, it talks of sort of at the end of a cycle. It's not a tragic thing. It's literally it ages and dies. And then comes from that death comes this new sprig, this brand new shoot. Wow. And it'll have something to do with something like a boss, like a job, or this could be somebody, an older or a partnery type thing, because we do have the Queen of Coins, so it could be a partner. It's somebody who has something that they control that gives value to your life. So there's going to be a change, but it's exciting because this is a new start. You're going to find something new, basically, to bring value to your life. And if you persevere, like, stick to it. Don't wait for it just to keep coming to you. You might have to change up your thought pattern. Maybe do a little exploring. What do you need to know going forward? This has all kinds of potential. This is called the fruit of your labors. This isn't where this guy is. He sees the fruit. He's just not sure when to harvest it, right? He's like, is it ripe enough? Has it matured enough? Is there enough interest? Will there be enough? What if I spend it? Would there any more coming? You know, this is a card of anxiety and worry about enough. This is a card about enough with no anxiety and worry. She realizes, because she earned these coins, these things of value, life's lessons, she earned them herself. She doesn't need to fear of not having enough, because if she got them one time, she can get them again. You know, teach a man to fish, and he eats for her life. So rest easy. This is not, this is nothing to worry about, put it that way. What's with this? It's all going to be fine. The Thief card. What? That's weird. Why would the Thief card be with the Rosy Glasses card? The Thief card with the swords is sort of, to me, it's somebody who steals your joy. Because it's sort of analytical. It's not somebody's going to come along like this, where you actually have the activity and the snarling and the snapping and the this is more mind gamey stuff. And I guess what I want to tell you is, going forward, keep your eye, don't look at the front of the hood of the car. Keep your eye where you want to go. This is where you want to go. This is totally obtainable. This is living within your means. This is a simplified life. This is figuring it out. This is the fall colors and the sounds of the geese going over, making your heart almost weep when you think about those geese. How the hell do they know where they're going? And yet, they look after each other, they mate for life. If one falls sick and falls to the ground, 2 other geese stay with it till it either dies or it gets up and flies again. Like, fascinating to think of all this little stuff as you go down. And then you just get more and more appreciative of the little stuff, and that's when everything starts to get golden. I mean, if I can make my heart happy and sing by listening to this honk, honk, it's awful. And they get so close, they're like, you can hear their wings, and then watch how one breaks trail and the others drift in behind, so they don't have to pull so hard. And they send out guys who will fly ahead, and they figure out where we're going to stop for the evening meal. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to find this sort of contentment, joy, and happiness in minuscule stuff, right? And the worry is that our minds, the games we play with our minds that we think other people are doing to us, but we choose to chew and stew and map, map, map. Remember, every time you tell that story, you're just that much more deep in it. So when you talk and whine and whinge, the thief, we're the ones who steals this. Because we can't just sit down, enjoy a hot cup of coffee and Mother Nature in her glory. No, we have to sit there and all of a sudden, well, can you, like, I can't believe she said that. Who the hell does she think she is? And off you go. So while other people might look at this, see this money card, see the thief card, and say somebody's going to steal something, I'm going to tell you, because you're 100% responsible for what goes on in your life, just like I am. Watch that you're not the one running this loop in your head of and that steals this life. Look at this life. Ah, wow. Wow. So life has taken us all. We are all, every one of us is experiencing the death of things, perhaps having to get creative and start new things. A lot of people's livelihoods have been affected. Wow. And you're determined to be fair about it all. You won't go wrong with that. You'll never go wrong with fair. Fair and honest. And then you know what happens? You don't have to remember what you said. You don't have to remember what you did. It's only when you're sort of fibbing or fudging or pretending or trying to exude something who's not yourself that you have to start remembering. If you live in sort of the truth of what it is and just accept things for what they are. It is what it is. I lost my temper, or you lost your temper, or, you know, you've been rubbing me the wrong way, or whatever. It is. That's all it is. And you might boil over, and then it's done. There's no need to carry on. There's no need, because it's you who will rob yourself. If you choose to keep dragging this up and rolling it around in your head, yeah, it's you who's going to steal your joy. Wow, that's deep. It's you who's going to steal your joy. Yeah, it sounds so easy, doesn't it? Well, I hope you heard something that applies to you. And we have nothing to fear, because we know the only person who's going to interfere in our joy is our own self. So set that down and just live in the moment. Just listen for the sound of the geese wings as they go over your head, and understand that they don't know why they do it. They're not up there in their V formation going, "It's Mary's turn to go with Alex. I don't care if he falls down again. I'm sick of his attitude." Nope. One bird's down, two just come in right behind. Gives you the shivers, doesn't it? That instinctually Mother Nature is kind. It's a hard scrabble life for a goose. I mean, people are shooting at them. When they're babies, you know, they don't have a very high survival rate. The coyotes are after them and all kinds of predators. Even the fish, when they're little, even fish eat them. Jackfish, the big pikes, the northern pikes come up and just eat them right out of the water when they're the little fur balls. So, you know, you think you got problems? Be a goose. Be a wild goose. Actually, wouldn't that be awesome? You fly anywhere, you go south for the winter. They're not wearing masks. Please wear a mask. Please look after yourself. It's going to be a hard winter, everybody. I believe that in my heart and soul, that this is going to be even more challenging. So don't let your mind rob you of the little things, the little joys that's going to be the stuff that gets us through, isn't it? Take good care, everybody. Bye from the amigos and me. And I need my mouse.